Every day, Daniel rode his old bicycle across the busy streets of Chicago delivering food. His backpack was heavy, his shirt always soaked with sweat, and his phone screen was cracked. But the timer on the delivery app still worked. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 59 seconds. If Daniel was late, his rating would drop. If his rating dropped, he would lose his bonus. And if he lost that bonus, he might not be able to buy new shoes for his 6-year-old daughter Lily. So he kept pedaling. Daniel was 32 years old. He once studied graphic design, but life had taken a different path. Now he spent his days delivering food just to keep a small roof over his daughter's head. One afternoon, he stopped in front of a quiet old mansion on Rosewood Street. It looked strange. The neighborhood was rich, but this house looked forgotten. Dust covered the porch. The curtains were always closed. Daniel checked the delivery instructions. Customer, Eleanor. Note, door is unlocked. Please bring food inside. Cannot walk. Daniel hesitated. Drivers were never supposed to enter customers' homes. Could get him fired. But something in his heart told him to help. Hello, he called as he pushed the door open. A weak voice answered. In here. Inside the dim living room sat a woman in an electric wheelchair. She looked fragile, her hands shaking slightly. Her illness had taken much of her strength. I brought your soup, Daniel said gently. Thank you, Eleanor whispered. Can you open it? My hands aren't working today. Daniel looked at his phone. Another delivery request popped up. If he stayed, he would be late. If he was late, he would lose money. But Eleanor looked so tired. And so hungry. Daniel declined the order. He opened the soup container and placed the spoon in her hand. For a moment she tried to hold it. But suddenly her arm trembled, and the spoon fell to the floor. A tear rolled down her cheek. Please, just leave it, she whispered. I'm sorry. Daniel knelt down, picked up the spoon, wiped it clean, and pulled a chair beside her. I have a daughter, he said with a smile. She refuses to eat soup unless I pretend the spoon is an airplane. Eleanor blinked in surprise. I promise I won't make airplane noises for you, Daniel joked. For the first time she smiled. Slowly, gently, he fed her until the bowl was empty. That day Daniel lost money because he was late. But the next day he came back. And the next. Soon it became a routine. Every afternoon at 1 p.m., Daniel arrived with lunch. Pasta, smoothies. He sat in the dusty chair and fed Eleanor while they talked. She told him she used to be a painter before her illness took her strength. He showed her photos of Lily on his cracked phone. Lily wants ballet lessons, Daniel said one day with a tired laugh. I'm still trying to figure out how to afford that. You're a wonderful father, Eleanor said softly. But life outside that house was not easy. One morning Daniel arrived looking broken. His eyes were red. What happened? Eleanor asked. My bike was stolen, he said quietly. It was an electric bike. I'm still paying for it. Without the bike he couldn't deliver. And without deliveries he lost his job. I have rent due in 3 days, he said, his voice shaking. $1,200. Or my daughter and I are on the street. He pulled out a small receipt. I bought this food for you with my last money, he said. I just wanted to make sure you ate today. Eleanor stared at him. You spent your last money on me? Daniel nodded. He fed her one final meal. When he finished, he leaned down and kissed her gently on the forehead. Goodbye, Eleanor. He turned to leave. Daniel, stop, she said suddenly. Her voice sounded stronger. Open the curtains. Daniel pulled the heavy cord. Bright sunlight filled the room. He froze. They weren't in an old house. They were in the top penthouse of the famous Blackwood Tower, overlooking the entire city. Daniel turned slowly. Eleanor. She smiled. My full name is Eleanor Blackwood. Daniel's eyes widened. The Blackwood family owned half the businesses in the city. They were billionaires. I fired my staff months ago, Eleanor said. Everyone treated me like a burden. Tears filled her eyes. So I started ordering food, just to see if anyone would stop and care. Hundreds of drivers came, she said. They all dropped the food and left. But you stayed. She pointed to a drawer. Daniel opened it. Inside was a check for $50,000. I can't take this, he said. That's not charity, Eleanor replied. That's payment for the care you gave me. Then she smiled again. And I need a personal manager. Someone who feeds me without making me feel broken. Salary, $150,000 a year. Daniel's hands trembled. And Lily, he whispered. I've already called a private school, Eleanor said warmly. Her tuition is covered. Daniel fell to his knees, overwhelmed with emotion. Why me? He asked. Eleanor's voice was gentle. Because you thought I was poor, and you treated me like a queen anyway. Daniel laughed through his tears. I'll take the job, he said. But I'm still not making airplane noises. Eleanor grinned. We'll see about that. So tell us in the comments. Would you have helped her the way Daniel did? And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who believes kindness still exists in this world.